Imagine a California where people learn how to solve the greatest technical and social problems of our time. Imagine a California where premium educational opportunity is abundantly available to all. Imagine a California where your imagination can be harnessed to reach the highest levels. Now you can stop imagining, because that world has existed for the past 50 years. The California State University system is celebrating 50 years of working for California. In that half-century, the CSU has grown and matured along with California's cultural and social development. With the CSU system helping to build the foundation, California is now rated as one of the largest economies in the world. Through its many graduates, the CSU contributes successfully to our schools, communities, and neighborhoods. It is the CSU's alumni who are making a difference in today's world.
I think the impact of the CSU on California has been considerable. We did not have a lot of money when I was growing up, and we really struggled. And the fact that I had access to this education at a very reasonable price, and that I was able to go through the system, get a degree, and then come out in the end as a productive member of California society is a tribute to the system.
I would say the technological revolutions in the last 30, 40 years have all started from California, and then the rest of the country benefits, and now the rest of the world is benefiting from it. And these technological revolutions really come out of the engineers produced by universities like Cal State LA, but I don't think the colleges are really getting the type of resources that they should be getting.
For us to be competitive in the global world, we need to have access to campuses and programs that the CSU system offers and has been offering for the last 50 years. The CSU can be a very important factor in determining where we go as we move into this 21st century, whether we're going to be competitive and at the cutting edge or whether we're not going to, and that's why it's important to continue to support the CSU system overall.
Growing up in South Los Angeles and not a very wealthy family, my options were fairly limited. It provided a foundation and a structure for me to build on as I grew in my career. There's not a day in my life that I don't draw on some of that educational experience that I gained at Dominguez Hills. It was made available to me, and I just hope that it continues to exist in the future.
The fact that you see graduates working and being so productive in such a vast number of areas really speaks to the value of the CSU. It will likely always be a challenge to just sustain the CSU system.
The jobs that were around when I graduated don't exist. The jobs that are now here, that are the big hot jobs, didn't exist back then. We weren't trained for a little cubbyhole job. We weren't trained for a specific position. We were trained with the basic skills in order to be able to adapt to whatever we could do once we got out into the changing job market. This provides people a level of education that you just can't find. If people don't have access to that, what do you have?
For me, I think if I was in another state, I probably wouldn't have been in the high-tech area. I may not have finished college. It really kind of opened up to me, just the ability to attend college. And all the new businesses a lot of them are very high-tech, and you need kind of just, a good education to just kind of get in the door. And I think the university system feeds that. I think it'll be interesting to see what the CSU system has produced 50 years from now, 100 years.
The CSU is an investment in California's future. The lifetime value of a CSU degree will always outweigh the cost. The quality of a CSU education and the many doors it opens are worth far more than the actual expense. It is the CSU that makes California better, stronger, and economically sound. Imagine a California which continues to put its confidence and trust in the CSU for the next 50 years.